I'm reading from 1 Corinthians chapter 10. Moreover, brethren, women, I would not that you should be ignorant, how that all our fathers were under the cloud and all passed through the sea, and were all baptized unto Moses in the cloud and in the sea, and did all eat the same spiritual meat, and did all drink the same spiritual drink, for they drank of that spiritual rock, the rock at Horeb, that followed them, and that rock was Messiah. But with many of them God was not well pleased, for they were overthrown in the wilderness. I'm going to read that again. Verse 5. But with many of them God was not well pleased, for they were overthrown in the wilderness. Why was he not well pleased? Is he well pleased with you? Do you know how to please Yah? Do you? Do you know about the rock at Horeb? The water, the spiritual drink that they drank of? He doesn't want you to be ignorant. Study these things out. Now, these things were our examples, to the intent we should not lust after evil things, as they also lusted. Neither be ye idolaters, as were some of them, as it is written. Where is it written? Do you know it's written? Have you looked at what was written? The people sat down to eat and drink and rose up to play. Neither let us commit fornication, as some of them committed, and fell in one day 23,000. Why did they fall? Idolatry. Go look it up. Go read about it. Verse 9. Neither let us tempt Messiah, as some of them also tempted and were destroyed of serpents. Neither murmur ye, as some of them also murmured and were destroyed of the destroyer. Now all these things happened unto them for ensamples, and they are written for our admonition, upon whom the ends of the world are come. We are at the end of the world. And we are being told, Paul is telling us here, that all that the Israelites went through in that journey from Egypt to the promised land, that's all examples for us to look at and to learn from, that we do not commit the same idolatry. Yet here we are coming towards this Christmas season, and we are doing exactly the same as Israel did. You can read it back in 2 Kings chapter 17, or is it 1 Kings? Back in Kings, read it. What was their idolatry? They were worshipping an Ashtaroth pole. And what are you all preparing? Oh, you Christian women, you're preparing to bring in your Christmas tree, decorate it with baubles and make it look good and think it's fabulous, where it's idolatry. It's wicked. And we're being told here to look back and learn from those who were before us. Go to the front of the book, but you Christians say, no, that's all done away with. Paul's telling you here, look back, find out what did they do that did not please Yah, and learn what does please Yah. What is the spiritual water you're supposed to be drinking of? The 10 commandments, those that were given at Horeb. That's where you'll find life. And all you women in Torah that are pointing the finger at all these Christians who are keeping Christmas, I'm here to tell you, you keeping the feasts in Babylon, in a profane land, not fulfilling the full law and all its conditions, Yah looks upon you as in the same way as he looks at these Christians doing Christmas. You're wicked. You're not fulfilling the law, you're fulfilling your self-righteousness. Righteousness of Yah is written here. We have to learn from the past. We have not to point fingers. If you were shown that Christmas was evil, then your calling was then to go out and tell others to love your brothers and your sisters, to love people as yourself. That means you tell them, you rebuke them when they're in error. But you women in Torah don't want to do that. You puff yourselves up. You think you're doing it a great job. And read Isaiah 51. Read Isaiah 66. You're a stench in his nostrils. What you do is just as wicked as the idolatry of the Christians in their Christmas pagan celebrations. Repent and get into covenant. Learn from the Israelites of past. Read the Old Testament and say, what does it say for me today? Paul is telling us here. They went through for us at the end. I'm going to finish with reading that verse again. So it's 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 11. Now all these things happened unto them for examples, and they are written for our admonition. Our admonition, who? Upon whom the ends of the world are come. It's written to our end time generation. This is like an email to you today, Christian women, to you women in Torah. Learn from the sins of our forefathers. Repent and get in covenant.